¿Qué onda, vatos? Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here. I'm going to be kind of revisiting my video on the RevMAX Softail. Kind of a video that I released maybe about 2-3 weeks ago now. And I just kind of mentioned just, some of the benefits of having a more performance driven engine like what Harley-Davidson has just finished releasing. And we're also going to be looking at a couple other things. It's a new engine, stuff like that, but let's just revisit that video along with some of the benefits of having a liquid cooled or just the performance overall. If you guys saw the video, the event yesterday, February 22nd, you saw in that video that engine's going to be offering 150 horsepower factory stock.
Damn!
Yes, 150 horsepower from Harley-Davidson. It's something else, and I believe it has almost 100 foot-pounds of torque. So, and it's a 1250. So, with this engine that they've developed, hopefully they have all the R&D, all the resources, all the development. They've done all the tests. Typically they do perform stress tests on these engines before they release them, and they're not gonna have everything worked out from the get-go. I think we all know this. I think a lot of you guys are gonna be waiting, kind of like what's been going on with the Milwaukee 8. Now the Milwaukee 8 hasn't had too many issues other than a couple oil sumping issues and something with the primary, but not to go off topic too much, but Harley hasn't even done the recall on those, so I'm not sure if it's a huge issue or a huge problem. But yet again, even if you look at the dynos, Harley hasn't even recalled the dynos, the death wobble. So
why treat the customer this way? Why? Because f them, that's why.
Let's just talk about the engine overall. The 150 horsepower factory stock from Harley-Davidson is something that I think a lot of the people that were hating on my saddlebags would like to see on their lowrider, on their lowrider special, on their S. Like I mentioned in my saddlebag video, a lot of people didn't believe that saddlebags belonged on the lowrider S.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I believe those people would prefer, like I mentioned in my video, it was something that if Harley offered the RevMAX along with the M8 on the lowrider S, which I believe is one of the most popular bikes, which one would you guys consider buying? The 150 horsepower one, or the the oil cooled, air cooled M8, which is that's their bread and butter when it comes to Harley-Davidson. And let's just think about if there wasn't any issues with this new RevMAX. Let's just set aside that it comes out perfect, which it's impossible. All these new transmissions, these new engines, they all have some weird kinks in them, and we're basically going to be testing these bikes and paying for them.
I also like to live dangerously.
It's like this for anything, quite honestly. It's like this for anything. Anything that's new, there's always going to be some issues, technology, mechanicals, whatever. There's always going to be some issue. Look at the LiveWire. They had to do some kind of recall or an update on the charging mechanism. If you've seen the blockhead videos on the LiveWire, you'll see that there is some issues still there with that bike, and that's a $30,000 bike. Anyways, getting back on topic, just overall, the 150 horsepower, if you're a performance guy and you like your lowrider S, and you think that S stands for speed, or racer, or type R, or whatever you're into, you think that S stands for speed, then I'm pretty sure you guys are probably looking at, if it was offered down the road, RevMAX lowrider S, and that's 150 horsepower. And that's just mainly, once you consider, let's just say these bikes were at the same price, RevMAX and the Milwaukee 8 at $18,000. They were both priced the same. Would you guys opt out for that liquid cool RevMAX? V-twin. 150 horsepower. I don't even think you can make 150 without voiding your warranty, even if you do have the 131 on your Harley-Davidson. 131 with Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle, the Screaming Eagle tune, just to keep everything in warranty and have your warranty in case you do have that extended service plan, the ESP. There's no way you're gonna hit 150 horsepower on that bike. Yes, you'll have more torque, which is, in my opinion, it's a little bit more fun. You get to feel, that throttle. You get to feel that aggressive torque, having more torque, but horsepower overall, higher RPMs. It's just there's just two different monsters. They're two different bikes. You have torque on one end, and then you have top speed. A little bit more performance, smaller and everything else on the other one, on the Revolution Max. And what they did with the lifters, what they did with the valves, what they did with the overall technology on that engine, it's just it screams modern, it screams future.
The way of the future. The way of the future. The way of the future.
I'm going everywhere with this, and none of this is scripted, sorry. Like I said, even having the Screaming Eagle performance, the Stage 4, the 131, I believe you make about 135 horsepower. But like I said, you make a lot more torque. But on the Revolution Max, you're 150 horsepower, you're about 100 torque. Now imagine once you get to do the Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, or even a Stage 4.
1.21 gigawatts! Great God!
Harley-Davidson offers it. I'm pretty sure they will, because it's all part of profits. It's all part of the dealership making money and the manufacturer making money, just getting people to buy those aftermarket, those upgrades, those everything, and financing that stuff. This is how the business makes money, how the dealerships make money, is the finance and the service department. Like I said in all my videos, this is their main profit for these dealerships, is having all these optionals, all these upgrades that Harley-Davidson is known for, to customizing these bikes. But once again, getting back on topic, it's just overall I like this new engine. Would I be in a market for these bikes? I don't think I would. I wasn't in a market for the V-Rod. I've always been a Harley-Davidson fan. I wasn't in the market for a V-Rod, and I wasn't in the market for a FXDR. So it's just, I guess it just depends on the rider, and maybe this does get other riders to come into the brand and explore, and having that option, that 150 horsepower stock lowrider is, I don't know, that might be something that people are looking into, or people that are in the fence. It's one of those things that I've noticed on the comments. A lot of the people that are coming into Harley-Davidson, they've been riding for 10-15 years, and they've been on R6s, Yamahas, on Hondas, on Suzukis. They've been on sport bikes for 10-15 years, and they just mentioned, it's like, look, the reason why I switched over was mainly for just comfort, having back spasms, having body pains, being in that position for an hour or two, or commuting or whatnot. It takes a toll on the body. And a lot of those guys, performance guys, even some of the guys I know, some of my friends, they've they preferred having more power, more top speed over what you get with a Harley. So I don't know, I think some of those guys that are more of a sport bike riders coming over just mainly because they're in their 40s and they're having body aches, and they just can't do it in that posture anymore. They're switching over. I think this would be a viable option for them, because they like that performance, and they'll be able to kind of have it with the Harley-Davidson, the comfort of having that triangle position and that comfort for long rides, and just enjoying the ride overall, and then having it's just kind of like the performance baggers themselves. Like I said, it's all a good option overall. I don't think Harley's taking a huge hit. They're taking a huge risk. Yes, they're taking a huge risk, but I think it's something that like I mentioned in my other video, it's something that they can still make a profit if they offer it with 3, 4, 5 different bikes. Like I mentioned, the LiveWire. And I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, that's right. The the Revolution Max. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, revisiting my other video, like I said, now that we know the specs, now we know the you know, just everything about it. You know, they've announced it. You know, the horsepower, the performance, the weight, aluminum. You know, so many good things with the Revolution Max. And like I said, we're not going to be talking about the potentials, the maintenance, you know, the cooling, the extra maintenance, the more parts that you have to probably worry about. I'm not going to talk about that, but let's just say this engine comes out perfect. It has all the R&D done. They've stress tested this engine to the max, and they've worked out all the kinks, and it sounds like a beast. You know, yes, it has a different sound, but that's, you know, because it's, you know, it's a different stroke, it's a different you know, cooling, it's, you know, it's just a different engine overall. You know, the lifters, the overhead cams, all this other stuff. Not to get too specific, but revisiting my old video, would you guys probably consider, you know, getting a Revolution Max Softail? Maybe it's a lowrider S, or maybe it's a straight bob. You know, whatever you're into. Would you, you know, like to see that option, or would you consider buying that liquid cooled Harley, that liquid cooled Revolution Max? You know, considering now that you don't have to do some of the valve maintenance that you would. And I think even they even mentioned that I believe you could even go a higher mileage without, you know, a routine maintenance. I think instead of it being 5,000, it's now 8,000. I don't know the specs. I don't know everything off the top of my head. I don't have any notes. I don't, like I said, I do this without a script. That's why the videos are always so long. I don't know. You know, it looks viable. It looks good. And if they could, you know, like I said, offer that, I don't know. I'd probably, I just don't know. I mean, myself, I really like my lowrider. If I had some of that, I don't know. I don't know personally. I've had my lowrider now for a year, and you know, I absolutely love the bike, the sound and everything. I think that's probably something that it'll probably come down to, would be the sound. Once you get an exhaust, I want to hear what this Revolution Max sounds like on a performance exhaust, on, you know, just overall. I want to see what TBR, what Cobra, what Bassani, what, you know, all these great aftermarket pipes can do with this new Revolution Max, and see where they could go with it. And, you know, I just want to hear it. I want to be able to hear what it sounds like with the exhaust, and I think that's what it's gonna go down to. I think that's gonna if we do have this option, liquid cooled, air cooled, oil cooled, I think that's what it's gonna boil down to, is just that sound. And for the guys that want that performance, you know, you have that option. That'd be amazing. And at the same price, that'd be pretty freaking awesome. And you have those other guys like myself that, you know, that like that iconic, you know, oil cooled, less maintenance, you know, everything else a little bit more. You know what? That's it. Let's just end the video here. It's already been quite a bit. Don't want to keep on rambling, but you guys just let me know in the comments down below. Once again, we're going to be revisiting this topic, like I said, just because we have all the facts now. Yes, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And, you know, don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.